Hello, this is Henning Berg down here at Canalside reporting for KLTV. Here this week to speak to Simon Grayson, Huddersfield Town manager, ahead of the big game against Blackburn Rovers on Saturday, and catch his views and thoughts on the return of former Town player Jordan Rhodes.
So Simon, victory against Bristol City on Saturday. Were you happy with the performance and satisfied with the result?
Well, first and foremost, I was happy with the result. To win 1-0 and keep a clean sheet was obviously satisfying. In terms of how we played, we know we can play a little bit better. It was a scrappy game. We've probably played better this season and not won the game, but ultimately over the course of the season it's about getting results, and that's what happened at the weekend. We played it in a different way. We had to grind the result out when we weren't playing our most fluent of football, and you have to show that side of your games at times. We'd all love to go out and play fluent football all the time and win quite comfortably, but Saturday was a different type of performance and equally as satisfying.
With the changes you made, you brought Sean Scannell back into the fold, and obviously it paid off with a goal. Is that something that you bear in mind with the big game against Blackburn tomorrow night?
Well, he's waited patiently as Sean, and we made a couple of other changes as well, because after losing 2 on the bounce and conceding 7 goals, maybe the team needed shaking up a little bit, and we decided to make the changes. Players came in and took their opportunity. Tuesday night is a different type of game for us, and hopefully whatever team we pick is the right one to go and win the game.
And on to tomorrow's night's game against Blackburn. Are you surprised that, with the wealthy owners, how they've done this season, Blackburn?
Well, they're favourites for the division. They spent a lot of money in the summer, as you mentioned. It doesn't always guarantee success. You've got to be judged over the course of the season, haven't they? So I know that we're in for a tough game. That's all we can say. They've got some good experienced players. Obviously, we were fully aware that Jordan's in their ranks as well, and other players that have played at the highest level. So we know what to expect tomorrow night, and we have to be on our guard for anything they throw at us. But if we can implement our game, then we've got a good chance of winning.
You've already faced, an ex-Premier League team that came down this year in Wolves, and you're victorious against them. Does this pose a tougher threat for yourselves tomorrow?
Possibly a different type of threat. Wolves playing a different way to Blackburn. So every challenge you have on a Saturday or Tuesday is tough, because there's no easy games in the Championship. Just because we're playing Blackburn in the Premiership last year doesn't make it any easier or harder game compared to Bristol City at the weekend. So we know what we've got to do. We were satisfied with the victory at the weekend. Let's try and build off that now.
And tomorrow night sees a return of former Blackburn player Henning Berg, but this time as manager. Is it too early to predict what kind of team he will be playing out there and what tactics?
Well, I think when a new manager comes in, it's a very sort of whirlwind period for him. He only joined the club, I think it was Thursday, got prepared for the Palace game, lost the game, made a few changes. What personnel and system he'll play, we don't know until we get the team through on Tuesday night. But I know Henning is very thorough, professional in what he needs to do. And regardless of him being in charge or anybody else, it's a tough game, because it's a Championship game against a good team and some good players.
And another player who returns to his former club is, of course, Jordan Rhodes. You had Vaughan and Beckford missing on the weekend. Was it someone that you could have, imagined you had at your disposal?
Well, to have all 3 on your books would have been a pretty important strike force. Jordan's coming back, and we thanked him for what he did for this football club. He was a great servant. Took the opportunity to go to Blackburn, and he's been back here a few times since to see the players and joining a bit of snooker, etc. But it's not just about Jordan tomorrow night. It's about our team trying to get 3 points against a tough team. But I'm sure he'll get a good reception when he comes back. Hopefully we can keep him very quiet and he goes away back to Blackburn without scoring.
How about Vaughan and Beckford? Are they in for contention for tomorrow?
50-50 still, I think, on both of them. They're very sort of struggling with their injuries, but they've still got an outside chance as well. So we'll assess them. We'll probably leave it right to the last couple of hours before kick-off, before deciding. But they're making progress. We'll just wait and see.
And with the Blackburn game, of course, will there be further changes for tomorrow?
Look, we have to wait and see what formation we play, what personnel we play. The ones who came into the weekend team did well, got an opportunity to keep the place. But we'll try and put out the team that's going to go and win the game and try and take us back into that top 6.
Best of luck tomorrow.
Cheers, thank you.
Well, there you have it. I've spoken to Simon Grayson this week. He does assure us that there is a couple of injury doubts this weekend. However, Huddersfield Town will be up for the big contest this Saturday against Blackburn Rovers. This is Henning Berg reporting for KLTV.